Welcome to another S&P 500 analysis. Today is December 11, 2022. In this video, we're going to take a look at the ETF for the S&P 500, the SPY, and also the ES, the E-mini S&P 500 future. And we're also going to look at the ETF for the Nasdaq 100, the QQQ, and the ETF for the Russell 2000 IWM. All right, let's take a look at this SPY here. First of all, just kind of see what it did last week. See, the price came down to this lower range of the expected move between 400 and 398. And it just stayed down for the rest of the week once it broke. And also broken this trend line here. So right now, it appears to be trying to hold this level here at 390. So for the coming week, we will be expecting this particular range for the expected move. And let me zoom this in here. And that will be on the upper range is somewhere around between 407 and 406.50. And for the lower range, it is between 380 and 377. And here I put in the composite volume profile and also some of the LVN and HVN. So as you can see, it is sitting at this composite point of control here. And right now, it's appeared that it could be fluctuating around this area. So let me put in the zone, and then we can see what that zone look like here. Looking at these zones, you can see that right now, it is sitting down here at this composite point of control. So if the CPI comes out and the market react positively, and we could see it could pop up into this area here, this zone right here near the 402.31, and see would it be able to break above that zone and then work toward this 410 area, this high volume zone here. Okay, that would be a positive reaction to the CPI. But if we get a negative reaction to the CPI, we could also see it come down here to this 388.55. And that would block the 390 area, this low here. So breaking into this zone here and see what it get a bounce back up. But if it continue to break down, then we will be watching this high volume zone here to see would it be able to get a little bit of a support here down near this 385. If not, then look for this thing to work itself down to this 378 zone and essentially try to fill this gap here on the SPY. Now, if we switch over to look at the E-mini S&P 500, now this is the March contract because we're going to roll over starting next week. We're going to be looking at the March contract instead of the December contract. So all these price levels basically have been adjusted for the March contract, the continuous contract here. So right now it's sitting at this 39.91 area, this high volume zone, and this composite point of control here. So what we'll be watching is the ability to see would it be able to get up to this 40.70 and see would it get above that and move toward this 41.54 here. Okay, or would it get a rejection and get a push back down to this composite near the 39.91. And on the downside is watch this level here at this 39.37, or essentially also down here at this 39.08 to see would it get a support bounce and push back up. If it doesn't, then we'd be watching it to come down into this area near the 38.45.50 and possibly come down to this 37.89 or 37.90 area, and that will fill this gap here. So that is for the E-mini S&P 500, the ES. Now let's take a look at the QQQ, the ETF for the Nasdaq 100. See, the price came down to the lower range of the expected move and stay beneath that. This week's expected move to be somewhere in the area of 295.50 and 293.40 for the upper range, and 270.60 and 258.50 for the lower range. And again, it's basically been pricing it to be down at the gap fill here, and on the upside is basically near this pivot high the recent pivot high. And if we look at the composite volume profile for the QQQ, you see that it is sitting right near this this zone here, which is also the composite point of control. So for the coming week, we'll be watching to see would it be able to push up, if the positive reaction to the CPI push up to this 2864, this zone here, and see would it be able to work itself back up to this 393.95 or 394 area. But if it get a negative reaction on the CPI or decide to pull back down, then watch for the price to dip below this 278.21 and work itself down to this this zone here near 269.54, and that would put this gap fill in play. And for the IWM, the ETF for the Russell 2000, last week we saw it broke this trend line and dip below the lower range of the expected move. And it is continue to work toward filling this gap here. And here are the ranges for this week. The upper range is 186.30 and 185.40. And the lower range is between 171.80 and 170. And look at the composite volume profile for the IWM. We see that it is under this point of control, this composite point of control, and sitting here near this HVN here, around 178.60. So what we'll be watching for this coming week is to see would it be able to push back up to this 183.55 area and get up to this high volume zone and possibly move up to this low volume node here at the 185.90 or 186 area. Now, if it react negatively also to the CPI or have a continue to pull back, then look for this low volume zone here at this 176.17 and see would it get a bounce back up. But if it's unable to get a bounce back up, then look for continue to move down here to this zone here, this HVN near the 171.78, and see would it be able to find support. And that is also in confluence with the lower range of the expected move. So those are the scenario for the coming week. And as you can see, the market is pricing in, for example, for the SPY is for this gap fill here on the downside and possibly get back up to this pivot high here on the upside. So again, as a reminder, Tuesday, 1 hour before the market open, we get the latest CPI report. And then on Wednesday, 2 p.m., we get the latest rate hike, and then at 2:30 we get Chairman Powell's press conference. So be careful on those market moving events. I'm sure we're going to see some dramatic move either on the upside and take out this upper range and come up to possibly to this 410 area or for the SPY, or come down and take out the 390 and get back down to this 378, 377 zone, or even might get down to this 370 level. Be sure to check out my analysis on these FANG stock at my Substack page. The link is smtraderCA.substack.com. And don't forget to smash that thumbs up to help me promote this video. Thank you for watching and stay safe.